Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Mbarak and I welcome you to the 7th video of creating a complete e-commerce web application using plain PHP. In this video, we're going to concentrate much on how we can compress the images that have been uploaded to our web application using PHP itself. We're going to learn how we can crop, how we can compress. So you have a lot of things to put together. So let's get started. So in the very first place, we're going to set up the environment we're going to work from. So this is where we are, and I'm going just to come here to admin categories here, where we are. So here on top of everything, before I do anything here, I'm just going to do that logic of what? Of compressing the file. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a function inside our functions. Okay, and we're going to call it maybe compress file, or you can call it thumbnail generator. I don't know, anything that you want. So I'm just going to call it thumb generator, thumbnail, just begin with the function name, maybe I'm going to call it create thumbnail. Okay, create thumb. Okay, we'll see what will pass to it, but let's just create a plain function that we're going to call create, that we're going to have named it create thumb. Creating thumb. I've just died there and say creating thumb. So in this function, it's going to put the logic of creating thumbnail, okay, or compressing the image. So in this function, I'm going to come back here to our file, and I'm just going to call this function here, and then stop the project here. Just we are concentrating on what? On thumbnail generation. So I'm calling this function. It is inside this file of functions. If I press Ctrl and I click on it, I'll be there. So if it means that if I come here for the very first time, I'll just say that, okay, thumb whatever. That's where we are. So I'm going to put our two images on what? On I'm going to put two images. I'm going to put the image on in our folder where we want to compress. So we'll be compressing as we are doing what? As we are comparing. So I have here some image that we can use for compressing, okay, that we can use for testing compression. The image is 1 MB, 1.2 MBs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this image in this folder of uploads. Okay, I'm just going to put here temporarily that image in this folder of uploads. So I'll come to uploads here. You know where the folder of uploads is. I can say reveal in Finder. For those who are using Windows, you can see that word. I don't know, it's Find in Explorer. I don't know, something like that. Okay, but the main point is I want to put this file here in uploads. Okay, that we're going to use for practicing. Where is it anyway? Has it disappeared? It was gone. Okay, let me go ahead and open it. I've just downloaded it here. It's here, showing folder. It's here. So I'm going to put that file here in uploads. I'm going to rename that file as 1. So it's 1.jpg. So it's better you have to be knowing the extension. So 1.jpg, I'm going to come here and do what? And display it. I want to display it on on the screen of our project. So how shall we do that? Let's display it here. Okay, let's display it here. Just say img, and src is under uploads stroke 1.jpg. So if you come and refresh it here, you should be able to see it. Let's come and refresh. That file should be able to be seen. It is there. Super huge, very heavy. Let's go ahead and give it a limited width. So give width 100%. I mean 50%. 50%. Okay. Refresh. We have that file there. Let's just give it maybe 20% because it is becoming so huge. That's our file. That's our simple file that we're going to use to learn compressing. Okay, that's the file. It should give it 35. Okay, so there is our file. That's our file that we're going to do to compress. First of all, let us determine its size. We can determine its size by using what file size. Just that will need some PHP logic, right? So let's come in a tag of PHP and determine its size before we start compressing. File size, how do you get it? File size, just simply say file size, I think, yeah. File size equals, put your $sign, file size equals file size, and then you specify the what? The path. Okay, the path here. So you can now echo the path, echo, and then say maybe h1 h1, and then put here a /, and then I can say original file, original file, and then I can put here its size. Okay, its size. Okay, so that's enough. So let's go ahead and refresh. Original file, its size is here. Okay, the original file size is here. Let us change it to MBs. So just put here like MBs. Change it to MBs. So change to MBs, we have to divide it by what? By 1000. So I'll just put a stroke 1000. I hope 1000. Refresh. So the original file is 10,000 or 1000. It's in bytes. I think it's 10,000. Okay. How many zeros is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 million bytes. Okay, so it's 1.2 MBs. That's the original file. Okay, I can do maybe some. Okay, that's the original file. It's 1.2 MBs, and we are displaying it on the screen. Okay, so after displaying the original file, now let's go ahead and now do the logic of maybe now compressing this file. Okay, so to compress this file, what we're going to do, we're going to need one more library. One more file that is going to help us to compress. So there's a library on GitHub. It's called Zebra Image. I don't remember the name. It's called Zebra Image, something like that. So it will make our life much more simpler in compressing these files. So let's go ahead and get that Zebra image and put it in our project. So to get that Zebra image, just come to your GitHub, to your Google, and type Zebra_image. In fact, I'll put the link to this Zebra image file in the description of this video, so you should not suffer. So this is the image, Zebra image, this one. It's a PHP file on GitHub to make your life so much simpler. So my internet is slow. Okay, it is there. I'll save you from reading all this documentation, but you can read for more details. Okay, so I'm going to do what? You see, you can crop, you can resize, you can compress. See, you can even compress. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to put that image into our project. So to do that, I'll just simply come here to our files folder, and create a new file that I'm going to call zebraimage.php. Okay, so after putting that zebraimage.php in a new file, the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to put now the code of this Zebra image. It's just a single file. So you just come to GitHub, to this link, and then come to Zebra image file, this one here, this file. Just click on it and then click on this code. Okay, so you'll wait for it to process until it finishes copying. So it has been copied. So come and paste it here. Okay, I want to save you from doing a lot of things. So paste it there, whatever it is there, just leave it there the way it is. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to include, now this is our functions file. Is this functions? Am I the one who did this? How could I write these things? Okay, no problem. So after doing that, the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to include it into your project. So to include it into your project, you just simply write this. Okay, you'll find here what they tell you to do. Okay, this one, require once, then zebra underscore PHP, this piece of line. So we're going to come to our functions and put it there on top. Just put on top here, require once, zebra underscore image.php. So this image should be the same name as the one here. This file name should be the same name as the one here. So after doing that, now let's go to our compress, create thumbnail path, method or function here. So in that one, we're going to write these pieces of code that we do when you're compressing an image. I'd already done them before, so I'll not waste much of your time. I'll just take you step by step. So I'll just take you step by step. So the first thing that you do is I was getting the image quality. Okay, so the first thing that you do, you just we can first set the memory to be unlimited, so that we should not have you should not run out of memory. So you have to write this line in your project, set a memory to be unlimited like this. So the next thing that you have to do is to write the what. Here I was checking if the source is created and the what and the target. So here is we're going to receive here we're going to receive okay, let's create here the source. The source is where the file that we're going to compress. So the source here is going to be uploads.jpg. Okay, JPEG is JPEG, right? Uploads stroke 1.jpg. This is the path of the original file that we want to compress. So there are two things that you need. You need the path of the original file. So after getting the path, and then you create the target, okay, where I want to upload this file, what we call the target path. So the target can be, let us make it 2.jpg, okay. So this is going to be the original, this is going to be the generated or the cropped file or the compressed file. So after having those two in place, so the next thing that we're going to do, you're going to create now the zebra image instance, okay, by just simply saying image equals new zebra underscore image, okay, as how it is there up, okay. So after creating the zebra instance, the zebra image instance, the next thing you're going to write this, okay. So you just say image auto handle exif orientation, make it false, okay, but this one is option. You can even find this piece of code in the other thing that I showed you. So after, we're going to specify here the source by just simply saying this image source path equals the source that you received here, that you created here. So the source path is going to be the source here, and then we're going to put also the target where I want to, or the file that want to be saved. So that's the target. So you have the source, you have the target, so those two. After doing that, so the next thing that you can write, and you see how you are setting them, this is the name that you have to do, target path, like that, okay. Can even auto suggest, so after putting the target path, the next thing you have to determine the quality, okay, the quality of the image that you want, okay, the quality of the image that you want. So the quality will be ranging from 100 to different numbers, okay. So this is how you save the JPG quality. Okay, so if you want to determine the quality, aspect ratio, okay, if you want to determine the quality, there are some parameters that I will show you that we'll have to set, but let's first leave that quality matter. I will show you how we can consider the qualities according to what you want. So the next thing you may want to do is to set the parameter aspect ratio to be maintained or not. It's better to make it maintained. And here, enlarge images. If the image is too small, should it be enlarged, you can set to false or true. And then preserve the time, that can be set to true, so that this image should not be created as new. And then handle if exit, this I've already set it, okay. So you add this piece of line here, so it only can make it to true. So you can see, and these things are what they can be auto suggested. Okay, they can be auto suggested. So after setting these parameters, so the next thing is now going to be to get the image size. Okay, so this image size will help you to determine how much you want to crop the file, but that one I said we'll handle it later. So now the next thing you may want to set the width and height of your file. Okay, you may need to set the width and height of your file that you want to compress. So that one you'll also handle it later. I'll show you how to. So here the next thing you may need to set now the image quality. So if you want to maintain the quality of the image, this is the place where you set it from. Let me just keep it simple. I'll set it to be 50. Okay, so after doing that, now the next thing we're going to now compress the image. I'll show you how we can vary those qualities later, but for now let us go ahead and compress the image. So let's go ahead and compress the image. So to compress the image, you just simply say image resize, image, and then you point to resize. And then here, in case if you want to pass the width, you can pass it here, or you want to pass the height, you can pass it here. So let's just go ahead and specify the width and assume that you want to crop the image into a square. So you can say the width is equal to 100 and the height is equal to 100. Okay, so we specify here the height and the width. So in case you want square images in your project, this is a place where you can square these images. So you can say the width to be 100 and the height to be 100, and then you pass this constant if you want to make it centered or not. So these constants, you can find them in the Zebra file itself, or you can find them in the documentation of the Zebra file here. You see, you can find them here. So now if it fails, it will execute this path, and it will execute, let me die here and say failed. It will execute here the reason why it failed. Okay, and if it if it is successful, it will be here. It will execute this one. Okay, and I've put here the note. I'll put here the note. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this file, and we see if our image will be compressed. Put here, done. So let's go ahead and run this file. So come to the project and refresh. It will take some minute. So you see, success. So it means that now we have the second image here with the name of 2.jpg. Okay, 2, it is here. So let's go ahead and display that image next to this one. You can just simply come and make this one 2.jpg. Okay, same. So if I come and refresh, you can see our second image is here. And let us see the size of our second image. So this is the size of the first one. Let's go ahead and get the size of the second one. So size 2, and here it's going to be 2. So you can see, refresh. Now the first image, let's go ahead and update this one. Okay, so the first image, let me go ahead and reduce on their sizes. Maybe I can make it 2020 so I can see things clearly. So refresh. So you can see the first image is 1.2 and the second image is really small, but you can see there's an image here. So if you want maybe very small images that you'll just use for thumbnails, displaying something like that, if you know, like WhatsApp, they do convert images and make them super small before they load. So you see, this one is very small in bytes. It is 0.0001, but you can see, and has been cropped to a square that you want. The height, we have specified it, and the width has been specified. So if you're creating your shop, you have to specify like how width and height that you want to use your photos. For example, you see here we maintain a specific dimension for the images. You see, we maintain a specific dimension for the images. So let me show you here. Come here, open image in new tab, and we see, and I show how you can get the dimension. So I'll open this image in new tab, so right click and say inspect. So you can see the dimension of this image is what? You can see them down here. You can see them here down in this white thing, this one. So when I move my mouse there, you can see the dimensions. Are they mentioned? They are not mentioned unless maybe you save it and look at its dimension. Right click, show in folder, and then go to info, get info. So you can see the dimension of this image, the width and the height. Are they specified? I'm not seeing them. Let's here. Maybe this image is kind of corrupted. Let us look at the dimension of the image that we just uploaded. By the way, we can use even PHP to get the dimension of the image. Let's see the dimension of this image that we just uploaded, this one. We're going to finish, don't worry. Reveal in Finder. I'm going to show its dimension, get info. Yeah, this one is not corrupted, I hope. Yeah, the dimension is here. You can see it is 24,000 pixels. 2,400 pixels by 3,600 pixels. So that is a super huge image. So according to what you want, so you have to also define the dimension that you want to use in your project, so that your images will not look that weird when someone is previewing them. So with that much said, now let us go ahead and see how we can improve the quality. So the quality of this image, in case you want maybe better, more quality, you see this beautiful girl, but she has been dropped to this size and that quality. So for me, what I do, I create a method that that considered for me the size of the image and then tells me the right quality to which I should reduce it over. Because you cannot set this quality. You see, this is where we set the quality from here. You cannot set this quality of image which is 1 MB to have the same quality that you want to compress for the image that is like 10 MBs, or the image that is 500 fake KBs, and you want to set it the same qualities of the very huge image. So what you do, you create a function like this one. It's optional, but you can do it. So in case you want to change the quality, in other words, you can change it from here. For example, if I put here 100, you can see the image is slightly much more clear and the size has increased. So if you put maybe like 200, refresh, you see the image will keep on increasing. Maybe you can make it like 600. And also another thing is the size that we set here, So if we set maybe here to be 500 pixels by 500 pixels, see, that's a good square. You see, the image is now slightly clear and is 0.2 MBs. How have I done that? By just increasing the dimensions here and the change here. So this I've just made it much more clear. So if I come and refresh and make it 50, but the pixels are okay, you see, it is there. So it's just all about how you want things. So here the image that has 1 MB, it is 0.2 MBs. And it's still clear and in the dimension that you want it. For example, if you want maybe horizontal image, you can go ahead and set this one maybe width and make it maybe 800. Okay, so you may first determine the dimensions that you want, and then this library will help you to compress the image to what you want. You see, it is now vertical. You see, so if I make this one maybe 500 and come and make it maybe 1000, the image is going to stand. Okay, it has stood, and then the quality and the size still has reduced, has been compressed. So that's how we can do it. So for the images that I'm going to compress, and another thing that I was going to tell you, this is the technique that I say that you have to determine according to the what? To the size. So here I first get the size of the image, and then I determine what? Its quality. Okay? So here I change it. So if the image is like more than 5 MBs, the quality should be 10. If the image is more than 4 MBs, the quality. So you can also design your own, your own if. So I'm going to copy this simple function, and you can also write your own. And then I'm going to paste it here. Where's the compressed image? It is here. I'm going to press it here, and I'll be calling it before I start compressing. I'm going to remove this one. The function is just very, very simple for doing that. I just give it size, and then it will tell me what to do. So I'll just come and call it here. I call it here, and then I just pass the image file size. Okay, file size. Of course, the file size like this, and then I pass the image path. Okay, the image source, which is here. Okay, so I was also considering the width, the rest, but for now you can go ahead and do the rest logic by yourself. Okay, but for now let us go ahead and compress this one and crop them to 500, 500, 500, 500, and then here the quality will be returned. So this one will determine for me the quality, and then accordingly the quality will be compressed. So let's go ahead and refresh. You see, that's the image. The size is really small. It's really slow. I can do what? I can increase maybe here 1,000. There, 1,000. Or I can even come and play with the what? With the compression sizes, the quality sizes. Let me refresh. So slightly better, but it is really small. But you can also decide on your own. So that's how I'll be compressing my images, and then I'll maintain the original one. So that's done. Now when we are done here, I'll have to return the path of the image. I'll have to return the path of the image to whoever called this function. So I'll just return the destination. I'll return here. I'm already returning here. So if it successfully compresses, I'll return the new path, the target path. If it fails, I'll return the original path. So now after doing that, so it means that you can also play with these sizes. So after doing that, we have written the function that will help us to be compressing our images, right? It's a very important function, and you can see it there. Straightforward. So now the next thing, I'm going to now be passing here the source and the destination. Source, and then the target, the destination. I'm going to remove these ones. So we are seeing now how we're going to implement it. So I'll go ahead and copy this create thumb, and then I'm going to remove these unnecessary things that I had put on top. I'll remove this guy. Okay, so our function should be clean. I'll remove this function that we are calling, so that our function should be clean. Everything should be okay. So if I come and refresh, I think we'll get an error calling something that is not having arguments. So let's go ahead and do what? And finish it from here. So I'll come here to admin categories, and I'll remove this method. I'll remove this. So now we need now to implement it. When you're uploading an image, we should compress the images. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we can do that. So I'll just simply come now to upload images here, images, upload images function, this one. And then here, after a successful upload of image, I'll have to compress it. Okay, I'll have to compress it. So I'll just simply do that by calling create thumb, and then I'll give it the destination is going to be now our source. Okay, our source. Then the target is going to be, I'm going to otherwise if you don't change the target, then what will happen, it will override the original image. So I'm going to create here another file called thumb. So this is the file name. Okay, this is the file name. So let us go ahead and create another file, this thumb destination. So let's just call it thumb destination. Thumb destination. So thumb destination is going to be the same uploads, but I'm going to add here the word thumbnail, thumb like this underscore. Okay, so it's going to be the same name, but the word thumb will be added to it, to the thumbnails. So let me go ahead and pass here. I'm going to pass here the thumb destination here like this, comma, thumb destination, put a semicolon. So it means that thumb destination will be almost the same file name, but the only difference will have the word thumb in front of the file name. So let's create the image, create the thumbnail, okay? Or you can as well, yeah, that's it, okay? So after doing that, then we'll have to go ahead and add here. We see we are getting here the original image. So let's go ahead and add the thumbnail image, okay? So I can call this one thumb. So this one is the original source, and this one the thumb. So it means that we'll maintain two images, the original image and the thumbnail. When we'll be displaying these ones on the full screen of a product, we'll just show the original image. But when we're presenting all the images, we show the thumbnail. So I hope that's understandable, and I hope you're the same page. So that is, and then return here. We add them in uploads and then return them here. So you see how I have implemented the create thumbnail. You've seen how I've done it. Okay, so I can even update this one from here by just saying thumbnail equals to like this, because one returned for me what has been uploaded. So I hope you're together now. Let's go ahead and refresh and see what we've come up with. So I'll come here and upload some new file. Okay, I want to get here some image that is slightly big. Okay, yeah, let me upload this one. Okay, so I select this image and I upload it. Upload. So you can see there we are. We have got our source, which is the original image, and the thumbnail. So let's go ahead and check and open these two. So we'll just simply go to the same name and then stroke, so thumbnail. You see the thumbnail has been cropped to what you want. Okay, let's go ahead. So it was to maximize because this image was so small, and you say the image should be 1000 pixels. So let's go ahead and see the original image, copy that and paste it. I have put uploads twice, so the original image is there. Was the original image overwritten here? The original image is there, and the cropped image is here, the compressed. So, and these images are already now what in our uploads folder. Where is it? Uploads. You see, they are here. They have come. See, compressed. You see, both of them are compressed, but you cannot even tell which one is really compressed. This one's compressed. So thumbnail is so huge. I think we need to reduce the pixels to 1000. Okay, that's good, and that's how we compress images. I hope you've understood. Okay, I hope you have understood. Just watch as you practice. So that's how we compress images in PHP. So in the next video, now we're going to proceed and see how we can now save these categories into our into our databases. Thank you for watching up this point. Make sure you understand. Make sure you understand. Okay. So we meet in the next video now. Okay, when you're going to proceed with this tutorials of creating an e-commerce web application. Goodbye.